Hey, John. So you just closed on a business.
That's right. Yep. Yep. Closed on June 30th.
That's great. Congratulations. Could you tell me a bit more about the deal?
Yeah. So we're light gauge sheet metal fabrication company in the Pacific Northwest, and we fabricate and install metal flashings, roofing, gutters, downspouts for residential and commercial structures out here, mostly state of Oregon.
Very cool. And what was the purchase price in multiple?
Yeah, 1.35 million was the purchase price. That translated into about 2.5 times SDE, uh,
Mhm.
plus or minus a couple of points. And so, which I think, fair deal. And we structured a creative acquisition financing structure, which was a mix of seller note and earnouts and deferred payments over time. So, uh, which was the end of about 6 months worth of negotiating and positioning so that we could make this thing work.
Let's take it back to the beginning. How did you actually find the business?
Yeah, so my business partner found it. We cast a wide net, so looked at all home services, licensed and unlicensed. I had just moved from New York City to the Portland, Oregon area, and so we had cast a net all along the West Coast plus Arizona, in focused on the major metropolitan areas in those states. And this was just one of those cases where my partner Brian found a broker in the Portland area and had this business. And it was a very brief write up. It was the first week actually that he had posted it on Biz Buy Sell. And the couple sentences and the asking price and the SDE were attractive enough where we started the conversation. So that was how we found it, was just run of the mill biz buy sell. But that was the start of 6 months of extensive discussion and horse trading, really, to get to terms that would make the business attractive.
And did you go through a broker?
We did, yes. The seller hired a broker to sell his business. Yeah.
Nice. How did you find the whole broker relationship?
Yeah, it was helpful and difficult at the same time. So helpful in the sense
Hmm.
that the seller had this was his first time selling a business and really doing any type of large transaction. So we benefited from the broker's involvement in the sense that the broker was able to highlight what was customary and unusual for these types of transactions and do what I think normal brokers should do, is guide their client along the path of getting a transaction like this done. Difficult in the sense that he was hustling for his client and trying to extract every last penny from me, and
Hmm.
in in went to the point of um, just trying to work every angle when I'm not certain that his client necessarily wanted to pursue some of those avenues and get me to open up my wallet to the extent that it did. So,
Hmm.
but I suppose brokers who are savvy negotiators, that's what their job is. So I understand. At
Hmm.
times, I would have preferred not to have a broker involved, but other times there was some value in having him play a role as an educator and as a field guide for his client.
And did you get along with the seller?
I did, yeah, yeah. We established a very functional, healthy, good working relationship early on in the process. The deal is it hung. This is one of the reasons why it took so long to get to yes during negotiations. It's I can't replace him, and it's going to be a very long learning curve to eventually ramp up to his skill level. And frankly, even if I went head down for a decade, I probably still wouldn't match his capability. And so this deal hinged upon uh, getting him to commit for a long period of time. And so having a functional, healthy working relationship with him was a key point of due diligence, where in fact, I had put in a clause in the LOI that I'm going to need at least 40 hours of one-on-one time getting to know him. And even that was a bit of a gamble, because how well can you get to know someone, frankly, in a year or two, let alone 40 hours? So
It's great though that you were able to work that into the terms of the deal.
yeah, it was key. I mean, he's effectively my partner, for the next 7 years. So it had to work out. Otherwise, it was a total gamble. We're taking on this is a small business, so it's a fair amount of risk to begin with, but it's an additional order of complexity and risk by having to uh, have a person involved who still needs to remain in place and be motivated, and whose interests needs to be aligned to work alongside you as a partner. So so far so good. Honestly, I couldn't ask for a better partner than the seller. And we're 2 weeks in now in operations, and he's still hustling like he had when he was the owner. He's still spending money like it's his own. And I mean, that's exactly what you ask for. So I think I got really lucky in that sense.
Let's go back a bit more. How did you find Acquire in the first place?
Oh, geez. I saw one at the time. One of the leaders, it was a Facebook ad, and he was full suited up and sitting in a hot tub and talking about buying small businesses. So yeah, I got in Facebook ad, and I'd been thinking about buying a business for years actually, and it had always been an aspirational goal to pursue something in the small business ecosystem. I later refined that to hone in on home services, and about the time that I was realizing that home services was the place I wanted to be in, encountered the Facebook ad, and learned more about it and thought that was right up my alley. So that was probably in late 2020. And then early 21, I got involved in the training, the program. Throughout that whole period, I was in the process of slowly leaving my day job so that I could commit full time.
And how did you find the training?
I thought it was great. Yeah, I went through the playbook and really just executed it almost to a T, to the best that I could. I mean, this is a 30-year-old business that's been run on paper and just seat of people's pants. So, but it was a wonderful guidepost, and set a framework that I could use to ensure that I was pursuing something worthwhile. So yeah, I got a ton of value out of the Acquire training, ton of value having access to success coach. And I recently went to the workshop in Denver a couple of weeks ago, and that would have been 3 weeks prior to closing. Even that was tremendously valuable to talk to others who were in similar situations as me. And also we brought in Daniel Elizondo, was one of the keynote speakers, and he just closed on his plumbing business out in San Antonio, and talked a lot about the first couple of weeks of the transition, which was very timely. And now I've just completed my first 2 weeks of ownership, and leaned on a lot of the pro tips that he shared with us during that workshop. So yeah, all aspects of my engagement with Acquire have been great, and I got a lot of value out of signing up, and it's really exactly what I was seeking in an advisor and partner.
So, are you excited? Are you nervous now? How do you feel now that you've actually closed on a business?
It's hectic. There's a fair amount of just anxiety and nerves that go along with it. But at the same time, this is what I've been wanting to do for at least 5 years. And now I'm doing it. And yeah, it's a lot of money. And I wrote a big check, and we've got, times are uncertain on the horizon, and we're already facing challenges. But this is what I signed up for, and here I am living it. And it's just exhilarating to know that you're finally pursuing your dream, and like this is the big leagues, and we're here. So it's about 90% excitement and enthusiasm and positive, and 10% oh crap, like this is a big deal and better not screw this up. So,
And what would you say to an acquisition entrepreneur who's not quite where you are but wants to get there?
and go through the work of filling in your knowledge gaps. Like, it's worthwhile, maybe painful, and you feel like you're slowing down or not going after the real prize by talking to brokers or looking through biz buy sell. But take the time to really shore up your knowledge, and go through the training, and just keep at it. I mean, I was at it for 6 months negotiating a deal, and I was at a point of either deal falling apart or me walking away at least 3 times throughout the process. So there's tremendous value in just showing up every day and keeping at it, and being given, not stopping or slowing down until you're given a reason to say no or to stop or slow down. So I just say, do the work, rely on your advisors, keep at it, and it really does work out. The beauty of this ecosystem is there is so many opportunities out there. You're not running into a ton of competition, and just putting in the reps, like, it's eventually going to likely work out in your favor.
I think that's a pretty good place to leave it. Uh, Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's it.
Well, thanks so much for taking the time to walk us through this today, John.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.